All right, let's see. I'm closing my lovely little Canva presentation, and we are, let's see, we're gonna kick it off tonight with Kevin. Kevin, are you willing to break the ice tonight? I'm gonna go ahead and unmute you.
Okay, can you hear me?
There you are.
Ah, okay. Well, this is the time usually when I say all this stuff to sort of like pan out, and but I won't do that. I'll just pause uncomfortably. All right, so this is newer stuff, 3 things, and they're all short, so they'll be over soon. This one's called Bodies Closer. And it's one of those, the title is part of the poem, lead in line of the poem. Lord knows why I do that. Anyway, yeah, look at, I can look at, I do it like this, and then maybe I'll like have eye contact. Bodies closer than a dog wanting to know where some water, some food, the play part of this day. When round, bright heat comes, lower to the ground, small enough to grasp, cool enough to carry from the grass, then asking, when can I rest my voice from barking? And then nearly sleeping, when can I dream without chasing rabbits? Thanks for the clicks. Awesome. Worth their weight in gold. Let's see, this one called Dear Diary, Lord knows why. Something about the day, I don't know. Dear Diary, never mind what day it is of reckoning of the dead. Have I time to redeem all my coupons from packs of smoke whereby my brand can fly on a polycotton beach towel like a flag that'll give you a rash? Oh, it's hot. And I just breathe, and I worry, then remember not to. Oh, I think you hear a dog barking. Then remember not to, so I just breathe, If you charge me for the air, I rise up screaming with intake took not on revolving charge, but by birthright. We all live here, even you who aspire to rule the universe and build a world of robot workers and robot consumers to whom to resell the sky. Okay, yeah, that's 2. And then here's 3. Yes, a little mug for the camera. So you should never give anyone a camera, not me. Got a mic way over there, it's all fluffy and white. All right. Too many yesterdays, which is to say all of them, even as imagined on far-flung worlds or in a sheriff's convention in Vegas. First time I saw, then had the luxury to puzzle over the word, atavistic. What the hunter heard while the blood dogs ran, ice bikini screams from the Atavachron balustrade. What logic can avail us, not disavowing witchcraft, stupid to the bone with no polio vaccine, no microwave ovens. Kids don't even know, nor any of us, the blunt weight of chain on brick's far side, and contextual hell that aired in saturated color with Dr. King and so many red X's. Madness baked in now like some stain pre-wash never got, and the hot spin dry cooked set. Who'd wear bare undies now, knowing such bloody provenance shown? The strawberry blonde and snow white fur parka could not save us then. How can a orange tone elder semblance do so now? Can we let go of the present? Can we surmount the past? With those questions, give it over to the next person. Thank you. Thank you so much.
That was a hell of an ending for you, Kevin.
I know.
Not used to those short and sweet ones. All right. Thank you so much for breaking the ice. Yeah, that was a good one, Kevin. That last one was very cool. Loved it. All right. We have a new person in the Zoom room, at least. She's joined us before live and in person at Co-Creative, but this is the first time I believe we're seeing her on Zoom. Bet, are you ready? All right, I'm gonna unmute you right now. Oh, it's asking me to unmute you, so you're gonna have to say yes.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, my name is Betlow. I'm part of Horizon Glass, which is a poetry workshop out of the New Bedford UU Church. And we did something, a couple of us did something really interesting this year. We were a part of a poetry marathon. And you can either do a full marathon or a half marathon. And in one 24-hour period, you write and you post a poem each hour. I only did a half marathon, so I did from 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. writing and posting a poem each hour. And it's really kind of challenging because by the time you're just done with one, it's time to start another one. But these are 3 poems from the poetry marathon. And if you look online, you can just Google poetry marathon, and it's really a stretch, and I really recommend it. If you guys haven't done it, definitely do it. This one I call Strawberry Shortcake. Summer fresh, strawberry shortcake, tender crumbling cake, spill of glistening berries, mounds of whipped cream. Taste it, sublime, perfection. Except, look close, that berry holds half a worm. You never know when you're eating a worm. Life is like that too. It can still be sublime if you accept the worm. And this next one is I call Trapped. And I hope you never have this experience, but if you do, maybe this will resonate with you. trapped inside the healthcare maze, spinning, confused, stumbling, dazed, biopsy-ordered, lab work sent, referrals, appointments, specialists went. I feel hopeless, helpless, phased, pinned down, crazy, angry, crazed, out of network, not covered, co-pays, co-insurance, deductibles. Will my health insurance pay? And then my last one, yeah, I hope that never happens to you. Hope that never happens to you. This is another one I wrote middle of the night in the poetry marathon, and I call it Searching for Enlightenment. It seems like we are on the same path. It doesn't seem like we're on the same path. You do yoga, I blast rock and roll. You inhabit a balanced life. Mine is in chaos. You sit pranayama in matching yoga togs. I'm in gritty work boots, gritty work clothes and muddy boots. But we both are looking for the infinite. We both seek peace. You may be serene by the sea, seeking calm with measured breaths, looking for infinity on a pristine beach. I am rocking and roaring down the interstate, purging the assholes from my head with raging rhythm, submerged in the sound, my spiritual practice packed between my life's commitments. My music is shredding the drudgery, burning out the jerks. Windows rattling, blasting down the interstate. I am at peace. Thanks.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Bet. All right. That one was fun. Okay. Let's see. As I said, if you want to read, put it in the chat, please. Let me know. We're moving down the list. And let me see. Our next poet, Harley. Oh, Harley, I already had you on the list. But I'm going to go ahead and unmute you now.
There we go.
There you are.
So I read this one last time as one of the wild cards, and then partnered with some people who sort of gave me a couple pointers, some tips, and so I revised it. I want to read it again. And I have a couple more, but they're shorter. This one is called A Leaf in Love with Chaos. Reliving fragments of time lost in your apartment in Bloomington when we were unfiltered and unadulterated wanderers, a bet without reservation, reveling in the randomness and lack of adult decisions and this feeling that had us in chaos, like leaves swirling around ankles and whisked away, driven by invisible devils and invisible chariots. We were vacant vessels once, the tenderness of lamb's breath, full of possibility, fertile passage on the dales, and limber around the bonfires of our dreams. Before the world folded in upon us, your breasts heaved in the moonlight, and we caved within the rubble of it all, a lip-stained whisper, dusty pink, bearing the fruit of memory. Ah, yes, once brilliant in our own universe, and now, paled and jarring, aged into the flock of routine and safety belts. How have we fussed and groaned, shorn to a normal we never believed in? Lips still whisper to vernal lambs, entwined and interwoven, locked in a singularity of separateness. Two leaves in love with the supple chaos of divisible and terminal youth. Cut ends. Thank you. This one is, as of yet, untitled. What is the real nature of a thing? Is it in the blood, or is it in the instincts? Beasts we are, throbbing in all murderous sinew and gristle, a dog's lust for the bone, a wolf's lust for the hen, all wringing of the neck and thrashing, the fury of flapping wings caught in canines, and the dissonant fray of lost feathers and a beating heart, and then nothing. But what is the nature of this thing? Are we all one in the imagination of an unearthly consciousness that spits on us while we destroy ourselves in the ragged orgies of battle, spilled blood, and the sadness of the next in line? I know, a stunner. It just is like, over. What? Wait, what happens? Maybe there's more. It's a never-ending process, as we know. And this one is sort of a new thing for me. So I'm just gonna throw it out there. It's kind of like a repeating interval type situation. I don't know the name of it because I wouldn't know the names of those types of things. If you know it, let me know. Also untitled. Thick strokes of paint reveal an essence, a singing spiral of blues. Who is on the piano that croons in the windowsill? A singing spiral of blues, silhouette against the morning's dawn, that croons in the windowsill where you left your blood paint. Silhouette against the morning's dawn, a pigeon lands curiously where you left your blood paint, and ribbons of tendril clouds yearn for connection. A pigeon lands curiously, inspecting the droplets of falsetto reds, and ribbons of tendril clouds yearn for connection, pillowy cephalopods in the sky. Inspecting droplets of falsetto reds, oh, how your skin glowed, pillowy cephalopods in the sky, morning silks trailing across the floor. Oh, how your skin glowed, you melted like a dolly, morning silks trailing across the floor, thick strokes of paint reveal an essence.
Thank you, Harley. That was awesome. All right, let's see. All right. You know what? I saw him. Sorry, I'm checking the gallery view real quick. Andrew is here. Andrew, are you reading tonight? Okay, good. I'll add you to the list then. All right, so one more reader, and it is Miss Cynthia Brenner. If you are ready, I'm going to unmute you now.
Hi, everybody.
You are.
And happy to be here. I'm going to read 3 poems tonight. I thought 2, but I'll read 3. I just wanted to say that I have recently started a kind of, I took a turn in my poetry, and I've really been getting into nature poetry a lot more, which is a heck of a lot better than doom and gloom, which was all of 2 years ago and up until about maybe 6 months ago. So I'm having a lot of fun. All right, the first poem is called Eagle Eye. Whenever I do that really hard thing, 2 beagles appear, trotting along a sidewalk, tail tips wagging in time, together, happy dogs, rejoicing in dog life lived well. If ever I'm sad, a beagle shows up. I fondle its soft ears, make stomach with a dog wrapped around it, jokes with its owner. We laugh and walk on. Should I give in to the darker side of my nature? They know we're about. They stay away. Where are you? No cold, healthy noses to nuzzle. Our concerned, melting looks. Eagle-eye. Somewhere, there's a kingdom of beagles. It's hard to find. And my world is colder, not kinder, for their noble absence. Okay, I've been going recently to the Westport Rivers Winery on Fridays or Saturdays from 11 to 5. The farm is open, and it's very heavy. So I spent some time there recently and wrote this. It's called Westport Rivers Winery, August 2020. We discover the great outdoors again because we have to. Grudging, fearful even, our screens no longer suffice. But summer beckons. We long to see the populace, gone these past 6 months, the mushroom permutations of people, carefully dotting the lawns, drinking wine, some like and unlike us, to hear the way they laugh, the comfort of their straggled conversations, the timbre of languid voices mingled among birdsong, finally together, finally at ease. We examine, look at the colors and cut of their clothes, their masks, themselves, feel a sudden discreet hunger brought on by the curve of their collective bodies, or is it the caress of the warm wind? We watch as safe clusters of friends relate. Notice how each family eats their picnic, anchors their children protectively, gently brush the ants away, and idly wonder about their destiny. Individual lives inhaling salty air as they walk down to take selfies with waving fields as background. Meanwhile, the grass is still green. Cumulus billow on this bright blue day. The wind coaxes tree leaves to dapple splashes of sunlight upon us. The champagne vines reach for the sky in celebration. This has always been here. And we, bedraggled guests, quite oblivious, are starting to get to know once again the subtle and healing charms of nature's parlor. And here's one that's maybe a 180-degree take on that. This is called Notice, and it's for Earth Day 2020. I have seen cities standing in their own saliva, dying of thirst. I have climbed walls of wet trash, 30 feet deep, to listen to the quiet of an oily surf lisping. I have touched great trees, denuded of bark, exposing unnatural insect homes that will cause them to crack. I have bathed in sparkly fresh waters, striding through blooms of poisonous blue-green algae beneath. Quietly, I've watched the squirrels' tails thin to smoke. Bedraggled wild turkeys limp to safety off the roads. Others, too numerous to mention, slip away. Where is our succor? When we hide in the Ethernet, make love to an avatar, play meaningless games of war, when we no longer realize we have died to the true existence of our hearts. Be still with me. Be still. Just that. Listen. Simple. Still. alive.
Whew. Cynthia's a performer. So crazy. That eye contact at the very end. Just, woo, excuse me. All right. Cynthia. And all right, that means, let's see. Andrew. Oh, he's not at his post. Oh, he is at his post. All right, Andrew, if you're ready, I'm going to unmute you.
All right, all right, all right. So today has felt like a day, as they can among many others. So I guess this kind of works, considering where I kind of want to be, I guess. So this is self-worth. Always a day late and $1 short. Ship looking for a port, safe haven, solid ground, safe and sound, a place to call home. Wherever I may roam, a place to roam back to. Husker du, so do you remember the 5th of November, the 4th of July, that first summer, where the universe opened up to the sky? Sometimes I wonder if wonder is enough, if it truly is the stuff memories are made of, or if it is the foundation is truly built on sand. And if it's going quick, I really want to hit pay dirt, create something that will stick. Thank you. So this is one that I don't really feel like I've ever really read. It was very much just an observation. So the title is The Day. So the title is 7/23/14. A man eats his breakfast before his guests arrive, always on the go. Directions are needed, devices change hands. Another reads the paper, nonchalantly finishes his cereal. All the time he's got left and nowhere to go. 2 gentlemen converse, 2 coffees, 1 fruit cup, and a bowl of expectations. There was a man sitting underneath a Butler Flats poster, all to himself, cup of coffee, self-refilled. Warm cereal, gold exterior, a girl with wrists of gold, black and pink, from her feet to her fingertips, with 3 little misfits, just looking to get going. But a new arrival calls an audible, seated at the back of the house. 3 misfits, golden girl and a mermaid. The last gentleman finishes his pancakes, contemplating what plans to make. 2 waitresses constantly riding the wake, moving and grooving, never slow down, never let up. Tables to wash, dishes to get, beepers buzzing, coffee to fill, and days to begin. Thank you. And so I feel like I'll end here. This piece is called 11. That nook, the corner of the world that we call home. Is it physical or metaphysical, destined to be chained to us, titans carrying the castles of our lives upon our backs? Atlas, carrying the burden while following the breadcrumbs to find a haven to rest our weary eyes, constantly forming bonds, breaking chains, rearranging what surrounds us. Forever constructing nests, insular, sometimes peculiar, remnants familiar, sometimes peculiar. Choices made to construct iron curtains, keep most at arm's length, and a few to truly let the walls crumble, to reveal the vulnerable, those scars that just never truly heal. Wandering through cornfields, hoping to find a signal signal from home, but you're endlessly searching, yearning for a resemblance that you are indeed connected to this existence. When you get up in the morning, pour your coffee, loathe the morning, that it isn't just you that wouldn't mind waking up at 11. Thank you.
Andrew, do you need a coffee? All those, I think every one of those poems had coffee in it.
Well, one was obviously written at a coffee house. And then the other one is pretty much my disdain for the morning. And
coffee is life. But.
Coffee is life. You know, like I really feel like I am not built for this 6 o'clock life that some call life, and I don't really know how they get on with it.
The daily grind. All right, thank you.
Daily grind. Thank you.
All right. I'm gonna read you a couple real quick. I went through my desk this past weekend and I found 3 separate notebooks that I have written my stuff in. And so those 3 separate notebooks I ripped up. I sat down and I said, okay, I'm going to make poems out of these little scraps of ideas. And so I'm turning them into actual poems. And I did actually get a few out of them. So I'm going to read you a couple today that I'm scared of. But so it's my first time reading all 3 of these. I've never read any of these before. So buckle up. It might be a little bumpy. Let's see. The first one, title is simply Hair. My hair is great-grandmother's majesty, indiscernibly Gaelic and bossy, unkempt, wild Atlantic shoreline, and rolling emerald hills. Not red, which is a deep disappointment to me, but she is wild and willful, curling and coy. My hair and I, we do what we want. More often than not, it is not the same want, but we make do with a bun. She leaves her mark in the bathroom sink, on the living room floor, or twined into my lover's beard. Oh, how I fought against her all those years, burnt her into submission with my flat iron, tranquilized her with straightening serums, and worse, violently chopping her to the roots for a mortifyingly bad pixie cut in junior high. And for all her suffering, she has remained soft and full of love. Thanks. Yeah, that's to this mess that I tried to trim my bangs myself because I'm still scared to go to a hair salon. And so this is what happened. I bought scissors. All right, my second poem. This one is a little bit of a left turn for me. I usually write my poetry about being brought up in the church as a young person. And so this one was inspired by the movie The Witch, which came out in 2015. And if you haven't seen it, it is fantastic, by director Robert Egger. And it's just dark and creepy and wonderful. And it basically ends with the daughter in the film coming in contact with someone that she shouldn't be in contact with. And I won't give away the ending, but this poem is inspired by that film. Okay, so kind of a persona poem, actually. So yeah. Dear girl, why are you so afraid? Does your heart not burn, red and warm as the fire? Join your sisters, shed thy smock, dance naked before the flame. Let it heal you, warm these neglected, shut away secrets of your skin. Would thou not like to live deliciously in sin and revelry, love and ecstasy? Come away from the deep shadow, step into my brilliant circle, dance in the light, revel in the roll of your hips, the heat of your breast, for that is where we live, ruled by our hearts and all that quicken it. I will guide thy hand. Your name is all I ask. Your name and your unending love. Thank you. Thank you. I can't tell you whose voice that is because it'll give away the ending of the movie. And I'm not one of those people. I won't spoil it for you. So go watch it. Okay. And then this one is still untitled. I haven't come up with a good one yet. And it's very short, so I don't even know if it needs a title, really. I feel my best at 6 a.m. Alarm sounds and I press snooze. You grumble at the disturbance and pull me close. I need to leave for work, but not before I kiss each finger and the length of your arm. I find your cheek, your hair, or your lips buried somewhere in the sheets. You grumble at the disturbance. I love you, I whisper into that soft mess. And you grumble. It sounds more loving than the last, and it's the best way to start my day. Thank you. Okay. All right, can I mute all? Okay. Yeah, but now. Okay, nope, that didn't work. How do I unmute everyone? Ask all to unmute. Oh, hey!
There you go. I think it happened.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
So here you all are in the Zoom room. That was our full reader list for tonight. And then if you guys want to go into round 2, if you want to raise your hands, I think I have the gallery view open to everybody. Kevin, you're up for a second round. All right. Cynthia, very nice.
Maybe.
Oh, come on. You wrote 12 poems in one day, so.
Right.
You've got an arsenal. Let's go.
If you do that, you could do anything.
Oh, yeah.
Did anyone do the 24 poems?
Yeah, no one in our group, but a lot of people did. It's just really an interesting experience. Yeah, it
That
is.
sounds grueling. I don't know if I could do that.
She wrote some really good stuff.
Now, Cynthia, I can hear you, but I hear it's very roomy sound. Does the microphone be closer to you or anything?
That's a good question.
Because I don't want to like mess up with your posture or anything. Because you are a performer, and
Better? Is this better?
well, it sounds about the same.
Really?
Yeah, which is really, yeah. I mean, you're messing up your whole groove for nothing.
Yeah,
Cynthia, do you have a fan maybe close to you?
I do.
That might be it. It might be the sound of the fan. Zoom is very temperamental. It's awful.
There's settings in it you can mess with. Maybe that'll sort of
Yeah.
All right.
change that. Oh, wow, somebody's outdoors.
Yeah.
Wow,
I know.
this is
Oh, Andrew's
insane.
walking around downtown.
This
Andrew
is-
actually, he hung a bunch of portraits at the Poor Farm Tavern for AHA night tonight. So I believe that's what he's going to do right now. He's probably going to check up on that and see if anybody bought anything. Good luck, Andrew. All right then. Kevin, you were the first one to get your hand raised. So
I
we're
figured
gonna
that.
take it away. Hang on one second. I have to mute everybody and then I'm gonna unmute you. So give me 1 second.
That's fine. It's gonna take me a while to figure out what I'm doing.
There we go.
You're unmuted by host. It says so on the screen.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's like every time I use this program, it's different, and I don't change anything, so I don't understand. It's like little elves climb in through the interwebs. Sorry, it's 21st century. I'm not used to it. I'm from some other previous century. Okay, so this poem has had a bunch of different names. It's the it's 4 out of 3. 4th out of 3. So you get the idea on that one. So it's called Thanks to Neil, and it had a lot of goofy, jokier names before, but we'll just leave it to that. That's a good a handle as any. So we'll start the poem. Wow, I'll look at the screen maybe. Oh wow, dude, the light. It's like a light show happening in that iPhone camera, dude. Anyway, sorry. I'm too easy. It's what poetry has to compete with nowadays. It's cool graphics. Dang. All right, we'll start. Thanks to Neil. Not to undercut, complicate, nor cast any shade on what anyone is saying. Hey, I concur. Fun things one refers to: corvid denial, meaning crows and ravens and blackbird ice cream. Notwithstanding, someone just can't see or taste it. So looking forward now to any tune, haiku, memorandum put forth under the title, Corvid Denial. Wait, don't feel pressured, nor mocked, yes, appreciated. Consensus building with the dead, like you said. I'm not scared of death. It's nice to have something in common with everyone who's ever existed. Good point. So hey, George Romero, Bram Stoker, Mary Shelley, Edgar Poe, Lovecraft, Derleth, Robert Bloch, and Shirley Jackson, whoever else. Yeah, let's chat. Let's flow. Like the Mississippi River, after so many gully-womping storms, may there be new, nutty loops and whorls. And Mark Twain, Frederick Douglass, John Lewis, whoever, take the wheel. So that's the point. Oh, thank you for the snapping. All right, now I'm going to go to some other thing in here that has other older poems. I'll read something I've read before because, that always works. All right, so that was the first one. This is the second one. So we're doing 3, I think. Yeah. Okay. It's called Cads from Werner H. I stole this island. The beach was nothing just for castaways. The huge gem-like rock in the center, it came with the island. The tractor with the front-end loader, that was extra. My dad was driving. But the chisel was old and dull and ready to stop working. The bones of the monk who also came with the island, when alive he was rounder, and the chisel much sharper. Feel free, I won't tell you. You'll have to read it while you sleep, what he carved in one life, those few words. And that's it, yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah. You'll be glad to know I did not write that in an hour, but it's okay. Takes me a year to do nothing. Let's see, Diaspora Diorama. I think I'll read this because I think there's something good in here. My plastic men and the placemat woods with deer, it is my refuge. I will shrink and live there with my toy Jeep and gelatinous finger puppet monster that keeps fusing with it. The girl with an umbrella on the porcelain bridge, she and her beau are like me, exiles from the terrarium of the glazed figure deer Yes, more deer. We will share the Christmas bench scene, and we will follow the star as far as stillness will allow. I think it's 3. So somebody else can read now. Oh, thank you for the snapping. So, I feel I should wear a t-shirt. Thanks for all the snapping. Thanks for all the free fish. Sorry. There you go.
Snapping is important at this point. You know, it's one of the last like normal in-person things that we have, and so it translates well. Even though you can't hear it visually, it translates. I want to bring Zoom into what we do in the Co-Creative Center too. That way people can like watch, and at some point when we have the, you know, ability to kind of maybe have me behind the scenes putting people up on a big screen, we can actually have people from, you know, random places in the world reading on screen. So that's my like dream. And so I'm very set on trying to get good at Zoom so that we can do that when we get back together. When we can get back together, knock on some wood somewhere. Okay, Cynthia, you are our next round 2. Bear with me 1 second. I'm asking you to unmute.
Okay, how does this sound?
Much better.
Much better? Must be a distance thing. So I'll just hunker down a little bit here.
There you go.
Okay, this is from the recently published Horizon Glass anthology, as was the second poem. And it's called Star Maker. I cut the fabric of the universe. It made an open rent that allows a steady stream of stars to spill through. In idle moments, I put my hand fully into the stream to feel the gentle tickle of spewing stars. They called me Star Maker then, but I am only an incautious, yet curious seamstress in love with glitter.
Is that it? Just the one and done?
That's it.
Okay. All right. Let me see. I bought this notebook. This is my problem. I'm just like one of these people. I'm like, okay, this is my scrap notebook. This is my decent notebook. And then this is the notebook that I want. Oh, it's backwards. It says, I did my best on the front. This is the one that I put the poems in once they're done and ready to be read. So this is the one that I can hold up at the reading and like look funny and cool. So let's see. Oh, Harley, I do see that you just joined into round 2. So I will get to you right after I finish this bad boy. So this poem I wrote quite a while ago, and it was one of the first ones that I read out loud to a group of people at Hollyhock, the writers conference in downtown New Bedford. And the organizers of Hollyhock were like, oh, I think it was me, Andrew, Nick LeBlanc, Patricia Gomes, and I think 2 other people. He was like, yeah, you guys are all from New Bedford and you all do poetry, so can you do like an afternoon reading? And so we had like a slot on the Hollyhock roster of like local New Bedford poets. And I read this poem during that slot, and a woman came up to me and she's like, do you have that published somewhere that I can own it? And I'm like, no. It still just lives in this scrap notebook of mine. And that was one of the first ones where I was like, oh, I know how to write things that can be read out loud. And so I've kept it kind of in the back of my notebook for a while and haven't read it in quite some time because I feel like it was one of my baby poems. But I read it again this past weekend and I was like, no, that's a good poem. That's a good one. And I honestly don't think I've read it at the Co-Creative Center. So I'm going to read it for you this evening. And I came up with the title finally for it this past weekend because it had been living untitled for a very long time. So the new title is Resume. Did you know that sunlight is composed of all possible colors? And it's actually our eyes and our brains that process each individual color. Photons absorb different wavelengths, and the cones in our eyes, fuck it. I'm not a scientist. I don't care what photons your face is composed of. I just need to kiss it. I'm not a doctor, haven't studied anatomy, but I'd make you feel better like it was my job. I'd learn the technical terms for every connecting joint that I can fold around me, call out the names of your bones as I kiss them. Clavicle, sternum. And I'm certainly not a physicist. Can't explain how time and space brought you into my orbit, but I do understand that we are just two objects in motion that will stay in motion unless acted upon. So baby, let's act upon it, your place or mine. And I'm not a painter. Sure, I can color inside the lines, but I'd prefer to paint your picture with my hands. And I'll do my best to capture the beauty of morning sunlight on your skin with my words. I am absolutely not a mathematician. Sometimes life feels like my high school algebra class. I'm skating by with a C+, and I keep trying to solve for X, and all I can come up with is you. I do sing, poorly, but shit, you make me want to, loudly and in public, without the words in front of me. I'd make up my own, so every song tells you how you stirred that little something inside me, added fuel to a fire I thought had long gone cold. Oh God, sorry. Tell you how you make me want to be all these amazing things at once, but I just write bad poetry that doesn't even rhyme, for Christ's sake, and hope that it won't matter. Hope that maybe you'll be hoping some of these unrhyming poems are about you, and that will be enough. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. All right, so that's me. And Harley, I am asking you to unmute.
Unmute now. Start video. Why not? Get crazy.
There you go. Woo!
I know. I have two other ones, and I read, for those who haven't heard me read as often, and for those who have, I write in all sorts of really different ways. Sometimes it really is all about a mood and sort of what hits me, and sometimes it is funny, sometimes it's crass. Hello. Hey. Sometimes it's a little more refined, but these two are completely off the wall, and gonna do something totally different. This one is it may be titled someday an ode to Nick. We're not sure. It's got poop in it, so I think you'd like it. Yeah, it doesn't. It's not really called that. It doesn't have a title yet. I took a dump that was a rich cedar brown, like the richness of success you see on the first block of Newberry Street. It smelled of good looks and seemed to have a very well-to-do attitude. It was perfectly white teeth with just a hint of sparkle that makes you look twice. It was a 4-bedroom, 2-car garage, 2.5-bath, open kitchen with a swimming pool on a 2-acre lot. It was early retirement and a pension and winning on every spin at the roulette table on a humid night in Atlantic City. Jesus Christ, it was George fucking Clooney. It rained $100 bills and the cheers of the neighborhood children rang out like a ticker tape parade, all confetti and melting ice creams and husbands looking where they can make their next of kin. If I had tasted it, I am sure it would have been Russian caviar. But the more I stared at it, the more I was sure it was mocking and sneering at me. It became sickly to me, and I wanted to flush it right away and curse it for its lurid mockery and stench of rotting durian and vieux bouillon, and so I did. Ah, see, I feel lighter already. Making Sarah laugh is really the only thing I live for, I think. I'm sad that she's on mute right now. Okay, this one is called Physical Culture, and it was basically written off of looking at the front of a vintage magazine postcard thing. So it might be a little interesting. Physical Culture. 1. The Personal Problem magazine. Startling confessions of women who hate their husbands and why walking is the fountain of youth. Youth embrace physical culture and youth embrace their own personal problems. But how many youth are married? This isn't Kentucky. 2. I rode in lingerie, red and not very forgiving. Muscles worked and flexed, and the men's team made lewd comments that they would never say in front of their mothers. My muscles worked harder. The red lingerie scratched and chafed. I frowned and became not very forgiving. 3. Also in this edition, tomorrow's ice cubes. Today, 10 ugly pets. Stocking, not just for men. Booze remedies for unruly children.
Very good. Nick will be honored if you decide to title that first poem after him. He will absolutely be honored. Oh Lord. You had me until you were like, if I tasted it, and then I was like, oh no. It's just too much. All right. Does anybody else want to read tonight? Or I can, let me unmute everybody. Hang on one second. There you go. You should be able to unmute yourselves if y'all want to jump back in for a cocktail hour. Enjoy. Have a chat.
I am going to take my leave, but thank you all for
Thanks,
being
Charlie.
Well, thanks,
I look forward to this every month.
Excellent. Glad to have you.
Bye, everyone.
Be well.
Thanks from me too.
Thanks for reading.
Yes, and it was nice to hear you read that. The first time I think I've heard you read. It was great.
Yeah, thank you. It's fun.